Okay, good evening, folks. Dr. Freedom here with you. Times of Doctor Who news from in and around the universe that may or may not affect you, weird you out, or make you just go, Now, got my articles all a little bit mixed up order here, so we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants on what we do have here. So let's start off over here, and I believe we're on, I'm in the wrong page. Sorry. Let's start on Facebook. First off, BFI South Bank will be screening The Talons of Wing Chai-Yang on Saturday the 14th of March at 12 p.m. with a Q&A with Louise Jameson, all include thrown in as well. There will also be a signing for fans after the screening. Tickets will be on sale soon. Keep your eyes out. I believe I've heard some people talking. Yeah, it will be very soon, if not already. Okay, Section of Randomness has some pictures up from Fugitive of the Judoon. If you didn't, if you want to go snatch some of these for your own personal wallpaper and whatnot, there you go. All right, wham. All right, moving forward. Now, a lot of people may have recognized the area where Captain Jack's ship was filmed, and it turns out that was the Clifton Cathedral in Bristol. You see, notice how that room looks a whole lot more familiar now. Really interesting stuff going on there as well. Also, someone said that apparently Nida, who directed the rest of the episode, the parts with Captain Jack were directed by Jamie Stone, who's also directing the finale, episodes 9 and 10. Interesting thing there going on, ain't it? Also, we're going to go into this article here in a minute. So I just wanted to show you those real quick. First off, we got the mirror. The first Black Doctor, Joe Martin, is definitely the Doctor confirmed show boss. They're claiming they got a quote here from Chris Chibnall, and that she had no idea what she was auditioning for. Now, this is supposedly from the voice of the man himself. He said, Joe Martin, who played the second female Time Lord, is the real thing, according to showrunner Chris Chibnall. Fans were astonished last night, of course, to, find out that apparently there's another Doctor running around. Chibnall said that Martin, who becomes the first black actor in the iconic role, is not playing a fake or phony version. He goes, the important thing to say is she's definitively the Doctor. There's not a sort of parallel universe thing going on. There's no tricks. Yeah, but that kind of narrows it down, Chris. She cannot be Pre-Hartnell. We've already established that in the Omega Files, and a lot of people caught on to that right away. The Chameleon Circuit did not break down to the end of Unearthly Child, and it originally broke down at Totter's Yard, because when they went to their next location in the next serial, guess what? It still maintained the form of a police box as it does today. So you can't sit there and say that Ruth is Pre-Hartnell. It doesn't work unless you're going to completely screw things up. Well, according to some folks, again. But I leave that up to you to figure out. Also, keep in mind, it's the mirror, but it is allegedly a direct quote. We'll find out later on. We don't have all the pieces of this puzzle yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this unravels. Okay, Jodie Whittaker believes in aliens 100%. She's the Doctor Who star on her spiritualism and outdoor childhood and going unnoticed on the tube. And this is a nice little thing here, talking with Jodie. I hope you get a kick out of it. And, over here on The Guardian, go check this out. Bam. All right, Vinny Patel plans to write his own science fiction show. In his regular newsletter, The Batelegram, the writer of Doctor Who episodes Demons of the Punjab and Fugitive of the Judoon, Vinny Patel announced his intentions to take a step back from writing for other shows and to begin writing his own. And he goes, at the end of my work on Doctor Who this time around, I felt more certain than ever that I do now need to strike out, focus more fully on my own TV ideas, and step up to being the boss. So, maybe we'll see something interesting from this fella, who's done a couple of very, interesting scripts for Doctor Who. Now, word is this script was, for Fugitive of the Judoon was split between him and Chris Chibnall, leaning towards the fact that Chibnall probably wrote the Captain Jack segments, him having been, familiar with him working on Torchwood. So, there you go, moving forward. Ruth's Lighthouse has a real-life TARDIS, according to this. The Lighthouse, that was used as Ruth's family home in Doctor Series 12, is now operated as a bed and breakfast. It's owned by Doctor Who fans and has a changing room in the form of a TARDIS inside. Here you go. Here's even a little video here included. Be sure to go check that out. Really interesting stuff. Moving forward, John Barrowman faked a house renovation to secretly film for Doctor Who, a.k.a. Queer Eye for the Alibi. Now, ahead of his return as Captain Jack Harkness, the actor needed an excuse for why he was back in Cardiff. Now, there was a lot of talk going around about the fact he was in Cardiff, but for the longest time, we all thought, okay, he's got a place there. from back when he was, filming and all that in there. So maybe he's just going back to do some stuff with it. Nobody, actually knew that he had snuck off to film this bit for Doctor Who. It's a real interesting story how that happened. Matter of fact, how Doctor Who brought John Barrowman's Captain Jack back to the TARDIS. He goes on, and I can't remember if this article or the last one, but he talks about the fact that they literally snuck him into the cathedral. They drove him there in a car covered like in a black cloth so nobody would see him or recognize him. And then they basically ran him out there. They did something very similar for Tom Baker for, what do you call it, back for the, that thing they call the 50th anniversary special. But what they did was they took him out like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Okay, Doctor Who just made history by casting its first Black Doctor. Joel Martin has been unveiled as a surprise former incarnation of the Time Lord in a momentous first for the sci-fi series. Now, the other theory that's been going around is this. It could be what we call the Devious Theory. A long time ago, a group of fans made a film called Devious, supposedly that takes place between the time of the end of the Doctor's trial by the Time Lords and to when he first pops out of the TARDIS at the beginning of Spearhead from Space as John Pertwee. And so I'm beginning to wonder if this is not the route they're taking. Because, for one, it would explain why the TARDIS is shaped in a police box, why it looks the way it does, and also the fact that, why Ruth doesn't really know what that thing Jodie is playing around with. Because even though the second Doctor was the first one seen with the sonic screwdriver, all it did was it unscrewed screws, and it looked like a pen light. So that may be why her doctor wouldn't recognize what the sonic screwdriver looks like. Also, it could be they were using the Celestial Intervention Agency, who's the ones who started playing around with the timelines and all that, and had their own little nifty thing. Could have been using her doctor, and that's the job she couldn't leave. But like I said, we're in early days here. I can't wait to find out how this puzzle unravels. So, Kier, there you go. Now, here's the thing that's leading me to believe. Now, I talked about this a bit yesterday as to why I believe Tosin Cole is leaving. He's been picked up for a 2-series deal. It's two 8-episode series of this, this show called 61st Street over on AMC. And I don't think he's going to be able to film this and film Doctor Who. I think that the reason why they may have filmed the special for this coming year early was so that they could get him out so he can go work and hit the convention circuit. Because he popped up over at Chicago TARDIS, which to us were like, why is he doing the con circuit if he's still working for the show? Okay. And moving along here. Sorry, but I had it out of place. Some nifty stuff. This is the breakdown of the trailers for Praxeus. Now, I know the British spell things funny, but look at that spelling of America. But okay, and this, the one's coming up next. A lot of little nifty clues here and there. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going on in Praxeus, because this is the one that has the crows and all this, and that really scary scene right there, and all this other, and these ugly looking dudes. Okay, so I don't know. Go take a look at it. Tell me what you get out of it, because I've been doing my own analysis of that trailer, and like I said, I just haven't a whole lot of time because we went back on overtime this week. All right, next up, and well, all right, now this is the synopsis, guest cast, character names for Praxeus. So if you're interested in taking a look at that, read the synopsis. Here you go, and some other little nifty things like down here. Like here's a cast list for you if you want to take a look at it. Also, for episode 7, we have "Can You Hear Me?" And we were making fun of that the other night, going, Papa, can you hear me? Do you want to build a snowman? Okay, Digiguide has released the title and cast list for the 7th episode of Doctor Who Series 12, Can You Hear Me? It's all down here. Nifty stuff. A lot of speculation going on about who these characters are, what they're doing, and what's going on right there. Like I said, we'll find out shortly, all right? Moving forward. Okay, Nikola Tesla. Unfortunately, the pickups on Nikola Tesla were not as high as anyone would like them to be. It picked up another like 1.16 million viewers. So it came out at a consolidated of 5.2. I can't wait to see what the consolidated are for Fugitive of the Judoon, which got an overnight rating of 4.21 million. That's right. Doctor Who ratings are going up. And I can't wait to see what the consolidated is. But a lot of people have been going around going, oh, that means it sucks. Go careful. Ratings made this episode the 11th most watched program on the BBC for the week, 27th across all television. So it's in the top 30 for all television. It had a 22.9% share. As I keep telling you, you know how many television network executives here in America would sell their children for a 23% share of the total TV audience? That's almost a quarter of anybody watching television that night was watching Doctor Who. And it did beat the opposition on ITV, Dancing on Ice, which had a consolidated at 5.01 million. Well, remember, that's a reality TV show that people really fancy. Now, topping the week with 8.22 million was, of course, Call the Midwife. And this one had an AI of 79, which is slightly higher. I think the last one had 77. I can't wait to see what it's going to be on this week's episode. All right, now, great. Did I just click on this? Yes, I did. You see, look at this. I had a brain fart. All right, Judoon overnight figures, as I told you, 4.21 million viewers in the UK. That's a 21%. And remember, this is the overnight figure, and we'll get the consolidated on it. The top for the day was Called the Midwife at 6.51. The FA Cup, which was also, it was at 4.59. Now, let's see, the trial of Christine Keeler came in. I ain't going to go through all that. But still, just show you, all the ratings are seemingly down across the board except for the well-known programs. It's kind of weird how the entire BBC has been taking a drop. That's because more people are watching television shows online than they are on the old boob tube. I've been telling people for weeks now, within the next, say, 50 years, there's going to be no broadcast television. It's going to be all streaming. Yeah, it's just the way it's heading. So, there you go. This one actually went up. I believe the last one came in at 4.04 million on the overnight. So this is an improvement of 170,000 viewers. I can't wait to hear the explanation video for that. Okay. Fugitive of the Judoon. I threw this here in case you don't want to bother with the Far, Far Away site, which is over here. If you want to go to this site because it's a little bit more familiar to you, and it's a bit easier for you to get into, there you go. That's why the only reason I threw this up at the end. Okay, folks, so keeping in mind that we've got all this stuff going on, we have Captain Jack reappearing, we have this alleged doctor who's got to be from the past, but at the same time the doctor doesn't remember. And I'm beginning to wonder if this is some play by an organization we knew back in the classic series called the Celestial Intervention Agency, which was a Time Lord agency. Basically, they were the dirty bag of tricks. Come on, with an acronym like CIA. I wonder what they've been up to. So I'm going to get on out of here. So please take care of yourselves and each other. Have a great night. See you on the flip side, kids. Freedom out, kids.